Unit 1 The Business of Real Estate Review Questions 1. The real estate law is found in B. The Business and Professions Code. 2. The Real Estate Commissioner reports to B. The Governor. 3. A salesperson owns 25% of the outstanding shares of Rala Realty, Incorporated, and the broker owns the remaining shares. This division of ownership is A. Acceptable. 4. A salesperson is part owner of Rala Realty, Incorporated. In the broker's absence, the salesperson frequently reviews the work of sales associates. D. Prohibited. 5. A real estate business that is a partnership can have more than one office location, provided A. A broker partner obtains an additional license for each location. 6. The sale or transfer of goods ordinarily held for sale in the course of business is governed in California by C. The Uniform Commercial Code. 7. An officer of Ajax Corporation, who is not a real estate licensee, successfully negotiated the purchase of the Smith Widget plant on behalf of Ajax. The officer received a commission on the sale in addition to his normal salary. The officer of Ajax Corporation B. should have had a real estate license. 8. If a real estate license is not renewed before it expires, the licensee C. must cease all real estate activities. 9. A real estate licensee can offer a mobile home for sale that is D. in a location where it can legally remain for 1 year. 10. A couple desperately wants to move to Pine Bend, and they like the seller's house, which is listed with a broker. The couple tells the broker they will make it worth his while if he can persuade the sellers to accept their offer, and they send an expensive food basket to the broker as a sign of their good faith. The broker neglects to mention this to the sellers. This practice is D. prohibited. 11. A broker routinely places earnest money deposits in his personal account for overnight safekeeping. This practice is D. prohibited. 12. A broker has an exclusive listing agreement with a property owner. The listing will terminate when the parties agree. This practice is D. prohibited. 13. When a broker exercised his option to buy Whiteacre, he presented to the owner of Whiteacre a written statement of his expected profit in the transaction. The seller agreed in writing to proceed with the sale. This conduct is D. prohibited. 14. The broker officer of Ziz Realty, Incorporated, does not like the overly aggressive sales tactics of Ziz's salespeople but has not reprimanded them because business is so good. The broker's conduct is C. discouraged. 15. A broker wants to help out his neighbor's son, who recently acquired a BA in history from Back East University. The broker hires the graduate to show property to prospective buyers. Because the new employee has no real estate license, the broker handles all of the negotiating. This practice is D. prohibited. 16. A salesperson is selling the Greenacre estate. An offer has been accepted, and the closing will take place in 2 weeks. While the owners are out of town, the buyer asks if the closing can be put off for 1 day. The salesperson agrees on behalf of the owners, for she is sure they will not object. The salesperson's conduct is D. prohibited. 17. A house is for sale following a murder in the house 6 months earlier. A salesperson, showing an out-of-town prospect through the house, decides to keep information about the murder to himself. The salesperson's conduct is D. prohibited. 18. A broker is so busy that he never has the time to return the phone calls of his principals. He prefers to spend his time in the field making sales and acquiring new listings. This practice is C. discouraged. 19. After attending a get-rich-quick real estate seminar, an attendee wants to buy a house cheap. She tells a broker that she will offer $50,000, with seller financing and no down payment, on the Monroe Street house, which has an asking price of $125,000. The broker presents the offer with one of his own for $85,000, telling the owners that unexpected market conditions make their asking price unrealistic. His conduct is D. prohibited. 20. A new broker opens a brokerage office and immediately places an ad in the local newspaper, "List your house with me and I will pay you $500 at closing." This practice is A. Acceptable. Unit 2. The nature of real property review questions. 1. During the days of Spanish rule, all land was owned by c. the Crown. 2. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ended c. the war with Mexico. 3. Real estate law, which relies on court decisions as well as legislation, is based on d. English common law. 4. Land disputes over the Spanish and Mexican land grants were settled by a. the Board of Land Commissioners. 5. In California, the term real estate is synonymous with c. real property. 6. Real property is not d. movable. 7. The sale of real property generally is governed by the laws of a. the state where the real property is located. 8. The sale of personal property generally is governed by the laws of b. the state where the owner of the property resides. 9. In California, the Uniform Commercial Code governs sales transactions involving b. bulk sales of goods. 10. For real estate to be conveyed, there must be an accurate b. description. 11. A subdivision map is d. a good reference for a legal description. 12. The most useful method of describing a subdivision parcel is probably a. the lot and block system. 13. The rectangular survey system is also called a. the U.S. government survey system. 14. California has how many principal baselines? c. 3. 15. A township consists of how many sections? d. 36. 16. A section is a. 640 acres. 17. Section 6 lies in what direction from Section 1 of a township? d. west. 18. Section 22 lies in what direction from Section 17 of a township? c. southeast. 19. Land described as the south one half of the north one half of Section 18 contains how many acres? c. 160. 20. The point of beginning is used in b. the metes and bounds system. Unit 3. Ownership of real property. Review questions. 1. A fee simple estate and a life estate are a. freehold estates. 2. The highest form of ownership is c. the fee simple absolute. 3. Victor and Karen are not married but together own community property because they are c. registered domestic partners. 4. A fee simple estate that may be lost when some act is performed is d. a fee simple on condition subsequent. 5. A fee simple estate that has no conditions is d. a fee simple absolute. 6. If Greenacre is deeded by Lou to Mary for Mary's life, Mary has a. life estate. 7. If Greenacre is deeded by Lou to Mary for Mary's life, Lou has c. an estate in reversion. 8. When Aunt Winifred died, she left a life estate in Whiteacre to her nephew George. When George dies, Whiteacre will go to George's daughter Elizabeth. Elizabeth is b. a remainderman. 9. If Greenacre is deeded by Lou to Mary for the life of Nancy, Nancy has d. no interest. 10. The owner of a life estate can a. sell only the life estate. 11. Joint tenants have unity of d. time, title, interest, and possession. 12. Jessica and John own Blackacre as joint tenants. Jessica's will specifies that on her death her interest in Blackacre is to go to her sister Mona. When Jessica dies b. Mona will be a joint tenant of Blackacre with John. 13. 3 joint tenants share interest in a property. If one joint tenant's share is sold using the proper legal formalities, the new owner will then be b. a tenant in common with the other joint tenants. 14. Community property is d. all property acquired by a spouse or registered domestic partner that is not separate property. 15. One of the forms of concurrent ownership is b. tenancy in partnership. 16. A partner has d. the right to possession of partnership property for partnership purposes. 17. Absolute control, as well as absolute liability, belongs to a. sole proprietor. 18. When doing business in California, a corporation chartered in California is a. domestic corporation. 19. Title to a spouse's marital property can be transferred upon death by use of C. A living trust. 20. A limited partner is C. Not liable for partnership debts beyond the amount invested. Unit for transferring real estate. Review questions 1. A person who dies without a will dies B. Intestate. 2. The testator names A. An executor or executrix. 3. Someone who receives real property by will is called B. A devisee. 4. A typewritten will must be A. Made by a competent person. B. Signed by the testator. C. Witnessed. D. All of these. 5. A statutory will is A. Signed and witnessed. 6. A holographic will is C. Handwritten. 7. The probate court appoints D. An administrator or administratrix. 8. When soil is deposited on a riverbank, gradually building out the land, this process is called A. Accretion. 9. When flood conditions cause land to be washed away, this is known as C. Avulsion. 10. When water recedes, creating a new shoreline, the process is called D. Reliction. 11. Elena moves onto Mike's land, builds a home, pays the property taxes, and claims she owns the property. When will she have good title, even against Mike? C. After 5 years. 12. Elena's friend Carl, who used to own the property in question 11, gave her a phony deed to Mike's land. Elena, who does not know the deed is phony, has B. Color of title. 13. The right to travel over the property of someone else is A. An easement. 14. A CO tenant who wants property that a CO owned to be sold would bring D. A partition action. 15. In event of default, real property may be sold without court action if the mortgage or other lien instrument contains B. A power of sale. 16. The court order following a judgment for money is C. A writ of execution. 17. The power of the state to take private property for public use is called A. Eminent domain. 18. To be effective, a deed must be B. Signed by the grantor. 19. The transfer of title from grantor to grantee, and from that grantee to a subsequent grantee, and so on, is called B. The chain of title. 20. Legal title conveyed by a deed of trust may be regained by C. A reconveyance deed.